Food and Beverage Services NC2. Before we start, I would like to acknowledge the presence of Ms. Vanessa G. Anburka, our Processing Officer, Mr. Carl Sonsona, our AC Manager, and Ms. Verana Burka, our Tester Provincial Office Representative. Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, sir. Don't be nervous in their presence. Just do your best in the assessment and that will be the rest. And that all matters. They're just here to oversee what does the conducted assessment is doing. Is it accordance to the prescribed competency procedure and methodology or not? Kindly pass your admission slips. Please raise your hand as I call your name and then sign the attendance sheet. So, Sarahaya Guevara. Kisha Martinez. Here, the accomplished application form and self-assessment guide. It is to ensure that you know and perform the competencies needed in the Food and Beverage Services NC2. Welcome to the Assessment Center for the Assessment of Food and Beverage Services NC2. The purpose of this assessment is to determine your level of competency and how well you know the Food and Beverage Services NC2 and Food and Beverage Services, as well as its competency. So, Food and Beverage Services NC2 has three competencies, which is the basic, common, and core. For the basic competencies, participate in workplace communication, work in team environment, practice career professionalism, practice occupational health and safety procedures. While on the common competencies, develop and update industry knowledge, observe workplace hygiene procedures, perform computer operation, perform workplace and safety practices, provide effective customer services. While on the core competencies, receive and handle guest concerns. The tasks to be performed here in Food and Beverage Services NC2 are prepare dining room, restaurant area for service, promote food and beverage products, provide food and beverage services, and receive and handle guest concerns. The evidence are to be collected through oral interview, direct observation, and written tests. To assess your competency in Food and Beverage Services NC2, the procedure to be used is oral interview, direct observation, and written tests. It will be a guide in measuring your knowledge and skills. So if you have some questions, don't hesitate to approach me. Because during the assessment, you will no longer allowed to refrain from asking. For the issuance of National Certificate or Certificate of Competency, the AC Manager will be the one to inform you where and when you can get the National Certificate. It is within 1 to 2 weeks after the assessment. So, if you have found lack of competence during the assessment, you will allowed to do a reassessment. So, reassessment, you can do reassessment anytime. It may be a full qualification where you can undergo the whole assessment again, and then the other one is just focusing on the competence you are not yet competent. If there's any accidents, don't hesitate to inform me and immediately call my attention. Question? So if none, I will give you here the specific instructions and please read it carefully. So here's your assigned numbers. Everyone must be prepared and you may proceed to the assessment area as I call your number. So candidate number 1, please proceed to the assessment area. Alis ka na iyan. Have a seat for the oral questioning. So, what is the three bucket method?
Washing, rinsing, sanitizing.
Yes, very good. So, next, what is the 3S?
Scrape, segregate, stop.
Yes. So, the last one, give me the two types of restaurant.
Fine dining, coffee shop.
Yeah, okay, that's all. Based on your performance and the evidence that I've gathered, you did well in all the competencies needed in the qualification. And with that, you meet the minimum requirements and standard of this qualification. So, congratulations. Please sign this rating sheet as well as the competency assessment result. Here's the ball. After 5 working days, just bring with you your passport size picture, white background with color, and 50 pesos for processing fee. May I ask you to evaluate my performance as a assessor? Thank you. Based on the performance and the evidences that I've gathered, you did well in the other competencies, but you are lack of in welcoming guests and taking food orders. Don't worry if you are qualified for reassessment on the part of the activity that you were found to be not competent. Just go to the nearest assessment center, and whenever you are ready, you have to review and practice the activities related to the competency requirements of the qualification for you to pass on your reassessment. To schedule your reassessment anytime or when you feel confident enough that you have acquired the competence.